Hey everyone, I'm Sievers and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's gonna be a special kind of anniversary celebration. It is Ryan and I's half-anniversary. Yes, we celebrate half-anniversaries. We've officially been together for 10.5 years. I don't even know where time goes. And I thought tonight I would make him a big piping pot of my sweet corn chowder. It is the first cool evening of the season and nothing better than a big bowl of soup for dinner. So I am going to show you today my sweet corn chowder recipe, Chowda, C-H-O-W-D-A. I am from Massachusetts after all. It's a recipe that was first in my cookbook, Entertaining with Love, almost 9 years ago. I've not changed a single thing since the debut of that recipe, and it is still one of our family favorite recipes. So let me give you a little overhead view of what I have going on here. So I have some yellow onion and some red onion, sauteing away in some olive oil and butter. All of these measurements are at marcsievers.com, so you don't have to worry about jotting down the ingredients or measurements. Just sit back, relax, and watch me make chowda. And I like the red onion and this yellow onion because the yellow onion is kind of sweet, red onion is a little spicy, and I just really like that combination. But of course, we can't make sweet corn chowda without fresh sweet corn. So come into the kitchen and let me show you what I have going on out in the island. So, sweet corn, my favorite thing about summer and really late fall. I love when the farm stands and farmers markets and local markets are just bursting with big bushels of corn, and it's just been a favorite since I was a little kid. And I love anything with corn in it all season long. So let me show you, I know everybody has their own version of how to get corn kernels off the cob. This is mine. So as you can see, I already have some done here. And I'm just gonna take my corn on the cob and I take all of the silk off and all of the husk. And I'm just gonna put it into a bowl. And I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna run my knife right between the cob and the kernels. And all of them are going to come off right into the bowl instead of all over my kitchen. I don't really know how I developed this technique or when I started doing this. I think I've tried all kinds of other methods. I've tried certain tools to help get corn off the cob, and I thought, I have a knife for that. I don't really need that particular kitchen tool. And I just find that this little bowl trick works perfectly fine just for me. So hopefully it works for you at home. So this doesn't look very attractive, but I'm gonna save these. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more in a little while. So I'm gonna put that aside. And then, you know, a lot of you have asked how to chop garlic. And I thought, how to chop garlic? I've never showed you that before, how I like to do it. And I think it's the most common way. I have no new fabulous new age way of chopping garlic. So what I do is I take a nice big garlic clove. Look at that, this is fantastic. And I'm gonna put it flat on my board and I'm gonna take my knife. I'm gonna put the blade of the knife right up against that garlic and using the heel of my hand, just do a real quick bap, really hard. And what that does is it gets the papery skin off of the garlic and the garlic clove comes out perfectly. Then I just cut off that little nub, just like that, because that's a little hard piece. I don't like to eat that. And then I'm just gonna dice it up. This happens to be a really large piece of garlic, but garlic makes everything better. I don't even know if that was a real accent, to be honest with you. I think it sounded better in my head. I'm sure many of you will let me know in the comments below. And then I'm just taking my knife and just, you know, kind of giving it a nice mince here. You don't need to make the garlic into itty bitty granules, but you definitely want it to be a nice mince. I really don't buy that garlic that comes in jars in the grocery store. I don't buy pre-peeled garlic, and I very rarely use any dried garlic granules or dried garlic powder. I really find that just having fresh garlic, I keep it, I'll show you. Keep it in this little bowl right over here with all of my other fresh vegetables I have for the week. I have garlic and shallots in this little bowl. And I find if I just keep it in a nice cool place, I always have fresh garlic. So it works. So all of this garlic is going to go into the other cloves I've chopped. And now we're going to go back into the kitchen and continue with our chowda for our half-anniversary. I can't believe it's been 10 and a half years. And he still puts up with all of my SH apostrophe T. So these onions have been sauteing away on medium heat about 10 or 12 minutes. They're nice and translucent. They're nice and soft. They really haven't taken on color, which means I haven't browned them. I'm not looking to caramelize them. So this seems like the perfect opportunity. Now, I'm going to put my other corn cob that's been stripped of its kernels into my other bowl. And I'm going to add now this beautiful bowl of sweet corn and my garlic. If you are making this and it's the end of sweet corn season, or say it's the middle of December, I actually do make this for Christmas Day every year. And I just use frozen organic sweet corn from the grocery store. You don't get to boil the cobs, which I'll tell you about in a minute, but it still tastes delicious. So you can make this really year-round, depending on the season. So now I'm just gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes. The kitchen smells amazing. I don't think there's anything better than the smell of butter and onions kind of cooking away, unless you add delicious sweet corn to that. So, it smells like garlic, it smells like corn. I just love this chowder. So, now, in order to make chowder nice and thick and creamy, but I don't want it to be gloopy, I'm gonna add a little bit of flour, and I like to add turmeric. I'm gonna put this in and let this kind of cook down for about a minute, and I'm gonna stir it constantly. The flour is gonna help thicken the chowder, and the turmeric is actually gonna help. Doesn't really give that much flavor, but it makes it this beautiful yellow color. I think I learned that from my grandmother. So I'm gonna let this cook for about a minute. And it smells so good. So remember I was telling you before to save those corn cobs. So the reason I save these is there's actually still flavor left in these, and there's starch. And you'll see when I added my vegetable stock, which this is about ready. So let's put in some vegetable stock. I have 6.5 cups. I have it warm, just so that I can make the chowder quicker. But it doesn't have to be warm. You can put it in room temperature. Just, you don't want to put anything in that's cold. So give this a stir. And we're gonna add our corn cobs. So what this is gonna do is add some of that delicious milky starch into this. There's gonna be some more flavor extracted from those corn cobs. And I just think it makes for just a more flavorful chowder. But like I said, if you're making this, say, in the dead of winter, and I was telling you I like to make it on Christmas Day, the reason I like to make it on Christmas Day is by the time December 25th comes, I think everybody's palates is so exhausted from sage and squash and thyme and rosemary and really fall-centric flavors that I find that my friends and family really love having this because it's kind of a bright, fresh flavor profile that they haven't had in months, and I happen to agree. So, and to make this even more hearty, I have some Yukon Gold potatoes that are about 1/2 inch diced. I'm gonna put these in. And what I love about this is it has all of that corn. I mean, there's a lot of corn in here. I have 7 ears of corn. I like this to be really thick and hearty and sumptuous, and I mean, as you can see, and we're almost done. I'm gonna set a timer for 15 or 20 minutes after this comes to a boil, and I'm gonna let that cook. And I want those potatoes to be perfectly tender, not mushy. And that usually happens about 15 or 20 minutes after it comes to a boil. Reduce the heat and let it cook. So, and then after that, we're gonna add the final delicious ingredients. A little naughty too, but hey, who cares? 20 minutes, I'll see you back here. Turn up my heat, and here we go. So it's been about 20 minutes. The potatoes are nice and tender, perfectly cooked. And I love Yukon Gold potatoes in my sweet corn chowda because they're so creamy and buttery, and I think they have amazing flavor. So now let's finish off the chowda. So I'm gonna take out all of the corn cobs. Every ounce of flavor imaginable has been extracted from these. It smells so good in here. I can't wait to have a big bowl. Okay, and last one. And now let's add in a little bit of naughtiness. So I have 1.5 cups of half and half. You can use milk, half and half. If you want to be extra decadent, you can use heavy cream. That's probably what Ryan would do if he was in the kitchen making this today. Give this a stir. And then I have half a pound of delicious, freshly grated English cheddar cheese. I love this English cheddar because it has a real depth of flavor to it. And I don't know, there's something about the texture. It's a little bit more crumbly, so it kind of melts into the chowda a little bit better. If you can't find English cheddar, you could use a beautiful Irish cheddar, or you could just use an American extra sharp white cheddar cheese. You want something that has really good flavor. Something that, like, if you were to serve it on a cheese board, it's like that level of cheese. Something really, really delicious. And now I'm just gonna let this cook for another 2 or 3 minutes until it beats and the cheese is nice and melted. This looks so good. And it's done. So how easy is my sweet corn chowda? Now, when I serve this tonight, I'm gonna serve it nice big bowl, fresh sprinkling of chives, maybe a green salad, some nice baguette, nice crusty baguette to sop up some of that delicious, creamy, cheddary broth. But I think right now I'll just take a little tiny bite. It's really hot, so I have to be careful. But I want to make sure there's enough salt, there's enough pepper, all that. So let's see. Oh, it's hot. It's good too. The corn still has a nice crunch to it. It hasn't turned mushy. I know the potatoes are perfectly cooked. This is gonna be, and you can really taste that intensely sharp cheddar. That's really what makes this so flavorful. Is it's just a few ingredients, but they're really like the best you can get. And I think this is gonna be perfect tonight for our little romantic dinner. Head over to marcsievers.com for the full written recipe for my sweet corn chowda. And please like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the little notification bell so you're notified of new videos as soon as they post. And I'll see you guys really soon. See you guys later. I mean, if I had a little bowl right now, would Ryan notice? No. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Bye, guys. This recipe and more can be found in my cookbook, Entertaining with Love, or at marcsievers.com. Thanks for watching.